Rasheeda, the ever-successful businesswoman, thought everything was fine until she received the bombshell of a lifetime: Jock's secret affair and the shocking pregnancy that accompanied it. Imagine learning you're pregnant and the father isn't even the man you're married to. Yes, you read that correctly. Rasheeda is pregnant with young Jock's child. This fact had been kept under wraps, but when it was revealed, it wasn't just any secret, it was a dirty one. Kirk Frost, Rasheeda's husband, was unaware of Jock and Rasheeda's affair, but it sent shockwaves through their entire world. His first words upon learning of it were, "Kill Jock." Yes, it got that serious so quickly, but the real kicker was that Camila, a close friend of Jock's, had her own game to play while warning Jock that she had plans of her own that would turn everything upside down once more. The story starts in what seemed like the perfect life young Jock, the successful rapper, businessman, and all-around industry player, thought he had. However, as Kirk's rage burned hotter, Jock's fight for survival became the main event, and things quickly escalated with violence, betrayal, and shocking twists around every corner. Who's got the upper hand now, and what will this do to Rasheeda's shattered life? Stay tuned because this story is far from over. Had everything: a successful career, a lavish lifestyle, and a name that is well known in the world of entrepreneurship. But behind the scenes, a storm was building that would completely upend his life. At the center of this chaos was Rasheeda, a social media sensation, a devoted wife to Kirk Frost, and an incredibly successful businesswoman. Everything seemed perfect until the bombshell was dropped that Rasheeda was pregnant. But the twist was that the father wasn't Kirk, but rather young Jock. Imagine the shock, disbelief, and destruction that resulted from this. Rasheeda's life, which had been stable and secure, was completely upended by a single phone call, text message, and whisper in the wrong ear. However, let's take a moment to reflect on what happened before this point. How did Jock, who was supposed to be Kirk's friend and business partner, end up in such a mess? It wasn't just one mistake. It was a pattern, a betrayal of trust, and a plot twist that no one saw coming. For months, he had been keeping this secret because of his charm and ability to man over in the industry. He believed that no one would discover his affair with Rasheeda, and he thought he could pull it off like he had so many other things in his life. However, what he didn't anticipate was Kirk Frost, Rasheeda's husband, being caught completely off guard. Imagine the rage that was his first reaction when Kirk learned about it. It was so intense and blinding that the only words that came out of his mouth were "Kill Jock." Yes, you heard that right, kill Jock Kirk Frost. He had been married to Rasheeda for years and had created a life and a family with her. Now he was confronted with the ultimate betrayal, and everything he had known and fought for, including his marriage and family, was falling apart in an instant. It wasn't just the affair, it was also the fact that Jock, his so-called friend, had been concealing this truth right in front of him. The betrayal was deeply hurt not only by Rasheeda, but also by someone who was meant to be in his inner circle. Kirk was angry. Jock's close friend Camila wasn't just watching this happen passively. She had her own interests in mind and knew exactly what was at stake, not only for Jock, but also for herself. Camila, ever the planner, saw an opportunity in the scandal and was looking out for her own position, making sure that if this story went public, she'd come out on top. Camila's role in this was anything but straightforward. She wasn't merely trying to help Jock escape Kirk's wrath. She was carefully planning her moves and playing her own game to ensure that she was the one in control of the narrative. Camila wasn't just a supporting player. She was the one tugging strings in the background, moving her pieces on the chessboard to ensure she was the one left standing. As Kirk's rage boiled over, Camila started to change her plans because she knew that this whole situation was about to blow up into something much bigger than anyone could have predicted, but no one, especially Jock, could have prepared for the full force of what was about to happen. When Kirk finally caught up to Jock, it wasn't just a warning or a phone confrontation. It was a full-on assault and violent showdown where Jock was forced to face the consequences of his actions. Kirk, filled with rage, didn't just threaten Jock, he physically assaulted him, revealing all his pent-up anger in a brutal encounter that no one could have predicted. It was about surviving this nightmare he had made for himself, not about the money, the fame, or the music. The walls were closing in on him from all sides, and Kirk was out for blood. Camila was playing her own game, trying to control everything from the shadows, But let's not forget who else was impacted by this mess. Rasheeda, the woman whose life was shattered when she discovered the truth, her entire identity, everything she had worked for was now being questioned. Every choice Rasheeda made from this point on would be scrutinized. She had a life to rebuild, a business to run, and a family to protect. But how does one rebuild when the foundation has been destroyed by betrayal? Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, there was a fight between Kirk Frost and young Jock that didn't end with a few punches and a dramatic walk-off like some VH1 reunion show. Oh no, this was personal now. Kirk wasn't just upset, he was out for war, and Jock wasn't just physically hurt. His entire reputation was being dragged through the mud, trampled underfoot, and presented to the public with a side order to cancel him now. But don't forget the name Camilla. Yes, the supposed friend of Jock who claimed to have his back, who flipped faster than a politician during an election year. She saw an opportunity and said, "Let me finish this scandal like a pro." Camilla began making private phone calls, not to support Jock, but to the blogs, gossip sites, and the dubious anonymous. An anonymous source told Fake Tea Daily, "Camilla has been working with Rasheeda's PR for months now. She knows if this gets out and the public turns on Rasheeda, it's over for all of them. She's cleaning the house." So what did she do? Camilla turned the scandal into a soap opera. She went full-blown Olivia Pope with a twist of Mona Scott. She leaked a fake report claiming that Jock manipulated Rasheeda, saying he used emotional instability in business. Stress to entice her few. Meanwhile, the public was consuming this as if it were Sunday brunch drama. Wait. Rasheeda and Jock Kirk were about to commit a whole felony. Camilla was playing chess, and these boys were playing Uno. Young Jock had more drama than his haircuts. The memes were unrelenting. Some were posting fake Kirk mug shots with captions like "arrested for whooping Jock like a drum set." And as the drama went viral, Kirk Frost's wrath. Kirk went missing for 72 hours, locked his phone, skipped business meetings, and was spotted driving around Atlanta with a baseball bat in the trunk, muttering to himself, "Ain't nobody playing with me no more." Everything only got worse, according to another anonymous insider claiming to be Kirk's barber's cousin's Uber driver. Yes, it was that real, but the public demanded answers, not just rumors, so Jock defied every advice and went live on Instagram. In less than 10 minutes, he not only threw Rasheeda under the bus, but also confirmed the pregnancy and made it seem as though she was the one pursuing him. After he left the stage with her damage control, she immediately hit up the blogs with a funny audio clip in which a man who sounded like Jock is heard. He was obviously stressed out, bruised, and breathing heavily as if he had just avoided Kirk again and started ranting. "You don't know what I've been through, everyone. I intentionally got her pregnant because that's how I keep the family money." Was this Jock's actual voice? Probably not, and the internet didn't give a damn. The scandal spread beyond Twitter to mainstream fake headlines like "Rasheeda pregnant by Jock, Kirk goes berserk, urban daily trash, young Jock tried to trap Rasheeda, Camilla spilling the TT without filter, Kirk versus Jock, the war for Rasheeda's one drama insider." Rasheeda was completely silent during this entire ordeal, posting nothing, making no appearances, and not even reposting skincare. Promo, the woman who typically produced a new reel every 36 minutes, was now off the radar, adding to the mystery. According to additional backroom sources, she was staying at a private wellness retreat in the hills, possibly at Camilla's and her crisis team's request. However, what no one knew was that Rasheeda was hiding not only from the media, but also from Kirk, who became unstable and paranoid after the altercation with Jock. Friends close to the couple claimed that Kirk had been monitoring her every move, interrogating her every move, and even setting up cameras in their home. When Camilla gained power, she started holding secret meetings with Rasheeda's business partners to discuss sponsorships and quietly clean up Rasheeda's image while disparaging Jocks behind closed doors. It was masterful sabotage with a dash of calculated betrayal. He even persuaded Rasheeda's team to release a fake statement because of current stress and private matters Rasheeda will be stepping on. He was acting like a whole reality TV detective, pulling receipts from 2019 and asking himself if the baby could be his. Back temporarily to concentrate on health, family, and spiritual peace. Translation: we're hiding until the fire goes out, but don't forget that Kirk is still spiraling. He allegedly hired a private investigator, and yes, he was prepared to start subpoenaing people like this was an episode of Law and Order Al's Scandal Unit. The PI's mission was to track Jock to see if he's paying off anyone and to confirm that the baby is his. However, Jock had his own defense strategy, and he had joined forces with Lisa Gray, a formidable lawyer who once got a member of the Love and Hip Hop cast off. The hook for a six-figure fraud case and a pyramid scheme in the same year was iconic, and as legal threats flew, the city began to hum with rumors that Jock was going to sue Kirk for assault, that Rasheeda would take Jock's side, and that Kalma was running the entire circus. At this point, nobody could tell who the real villain was, Kirk, who lost it and went full WWE, or even Rasheeda, who remained silent while chaos broke out in her name. The public was split, and fans began picking sides, as if it were the Atlanta edition of Infinity War. Hashtags like hashtag Team Kirk, hashtag Protect Rasheeda, hashtag Kamala New, hashtag Jock, the joke began trending within hours. And just when it seemed like the scandal was coming to an end, Camila dropped another bomb in an exclusive leaked email. Yes, we got the receipts. Camila contacted a major podcast network, planning to have hours of unreleased audio text screenshots and video footage that could completely clear Rasheeda's name and destroy Jock's career forever. Oh, she was playing hardball, and now the city was shaking. Oh, those leaked emails weren't a bluff. She had real files, audio screenshots, and even surveillance footage from Jock's studio. One file showed a young Jock pacing back and forth while muttering, I had to do, Rasheeda ain't going to say nothing. And Camila, she'll stay quiet if she knows what's good for her. Yep, Jock just gave his enemies the golden ticket. Kamala knew she had the upper hand, so she set up a live press conference complete with real chairs, lights, and podium. Jock did manipulate Rasheeda. She revealed texts in which Jock was guilt-tripping her, saying things like, you owe me this, Rasheeda, I kept your secrets before. Rasheeda was emotionally vulnerable, and Kamala stood tall and addressed the storm she'd secretly stirred. With the entire world watching, the dramatist truly believed she was on scandal. I'm not protecting anyone anymore, whether they like it or not. Revealed to her during a difficult time in her marriage, and Jock used that to get close to Kirk. The crazy part is that Kama acknowledged bugging Kirk's office. Yes, she had audio recordings of Kirk yelling, plotting to ambush Jock, and even attempting to silence him. The world went into meltdown mode, with blogs going down, traffic podcasts uploading 5 emergency episodes overnight, Twitter a digital wildfire, and Cammy might be the villain we needed. This goes deeper than Jock versus Kirk, and Kama is running the city, so Rasheeda had better not remain silent. After this, and just when it seemed like things couldn't get any wilder, Rasheeda finally spoke up and shared a 3-minute video on her personal page. It was completely unfiltered, without makeup, glam, or filters, and it said, I never thought my personal choices would become a circus. I was hurt, betrayed, and yes, I made mistakes, but I'm not hiding anymore. I'm not protecting anyone but myself and my future. Rasheeda then confirmed the pregnancy without denying Jock's paternity, defending Kirk's violence, or praising Kama's cunning. Now that this disaster has exposed their true selves, I'm revealing mine. The internet froze when she ended the video, but let's be clear that it wasn't the end of the war. It was just the beginning of the final round. Jock's camp was in disarray when Camila Kirk threatened to sue him, and even sponsors he had partnered with dropped him within 30 minutes of Rasheeda's video. Another brand deleted all of. In the letter, Kama said that she had broken recording laws, publicly defamed him, and damaged his professional reputation. The Jock wanted Kama to take back all of his statements or face a $2 million lawsuit. Kama laughed and went live again, saying, let him try. I got more dirt, he sues me, I'll leak everything, Jock better thank me. I didn't expose his other baby mama drama. To which the audience responded, OP. Meanwhile, Kirk was dealing with his own problems, his anger management issues, and the world had seen the video of him threatening Jock. Indeed, it went viral, and to make matters worse, Rasheeda's video depicted Kirk as being just as toxic as Jock, if not more so. The man who once screamed killed Jock was now dealing with backlash, business losses, and the possibility of a restraining order, which Jock's lawyer hinted at. However, Kirk had one last move up his sleeve. He publicly apologized by releasing a lengthy handwritten apology note that read like a Lifetime movie script. To my wife Rasheeda, I failed you to Jock, though I cannot forgive you, I acknowledge my wrongs. And to the fans, I let rage get the best of me, I'm going to therapy, and I ask for grace. Posted a picture of him sitting in a therapy session with the caption, healing begins now. However, by this time, the public wasn't buying it, and Kirk was now known as the ticking time bomb husband. Just when everyone believed Camila had one of her secrets, A former assistant came forward to reveal that Camila wasn't just protecting Rasheeda, she also wanted Jock out of the way because she had a deal with a rival artist with whom Jock had a falling out, and had been using kickbacks from bloggers to give them drama. Here's the kicker. Camila had dated Jock years ago and was still harboring feelings for him. Now, the tables were turning again, and the headlines revealed that Camila Rasheeda, a salty ex-Kirk Jock, was the one who really started the fire. This isn't love and hip-hop. It's love and hit jobs. Suddenly, Camila's credibility was destroyed. Brands she collaborated with stopped inviting her to their podcasts, and Rasheeda unfollowed Cama without saying a word, saying that silence was louder than any live video. Now we have 3 broken friendships, 1 destroyed business circle, and a baby on the way. The question on everyone's lips is still whether this was all a tragic mess of personal choices or whether Cama was playing a long-played game to take down everyone in one swoop. Jock has gone missing and is reportedly staying at an undisclosed location trying to rebuild mentally and legally. Kirk is now committed to therapy, but he is still on thin ice. Nobody is leaving this clean, and Atlanta is still talking, watching, and waiting for the next bombshell because if this scandal taught us anything, it's to be loyal. Now it's your turn to speak up. Was Rasheeda right to remain silent during all of this chaos? Did Cama pull the strings for retaliation? What about young Jock? Was he the mastermind or a victim? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you really support? Team Jock, Team Rasheeda, or Team Camila? If you want more crazy celebrity stories, crazy scandals, and the truth, know it. What's going to happen next will blow everything away. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and put on the notification bell. This isn't just gossip, this is war. Hey.